So I'd like you to meet Jean-Luc Picard. I'll explain that later. It's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Bill de Blasio, and I referenced before how important this issue is to him and your work is to him. The only thing else I'd add before introducing him is I'm really proud to introduce the mayor of the city of New York who has the largest number of people of color and women in senior leadership in his administration than any mayor that has preceded him, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, and thank you, Maya. I want to thank everyone for being here and being part of this wonderful gathering. I want to thank Maya Wiley for her tremendous leadership on many levels. She has been entirely devoted to remaking the city's efforts in terms of MWBEs, and it shows. I'm going to go over some of the facts in a moment, but with Maya's leadership in City Hall and with great efforts across our agencies, we've really seen a huge difference, and there's a lot more to come. We regard our efforts to date as just a beginning because we're trying to right some wrongs that, as everyone knows, are decades and in many cases centuries old. And we've got a lot of work to do, but we're pleased at a strong start. We're pleased how many people have joined us in partnership to remake things and to expand opportunity. I want to thank Maya for her great leadership. I also want to thank our SBS Commissioner, Greg Bishop, who's doing a great job. Greg Bishop is a man I truly look across to. Everyone's awake this morning. They got my joke. Good. Okay. And I want to thank Michael O, who's taken over the Director of the Mayor's Office of Contract Services, for the great work he is doing as well. And a special thank you to members of our MWBE Advisory Council. We've asked people to help us figure out how to speed things up, how to improve our efforts, how to do more. And I don't think it's a secret to say for many years, as Maya referenced, the City of New York was not going far enough. And sometimes the answers reside inside government, but a lot of times the answers reside most obviously with the people at the front who know what's going on, know what they need, know how they can get more done, know how they can employ more people, reach deeper into communities. So we've turned to many of you for advice about how to do better, and your guidance has been invaluable in that effort. So let's thank all the members of the Advisory Council for their great work. Now, there are hundreds of firms here today, and so many have won city contracts under our MWBE efforts. And you won them because you did such great work, because you had such great products and services to offer. And we want to keep rewarding that good work. We want to keep opening the door wider and creating more and more opportunity. We're very proud to be in business with you. We believe you deserve an equal shot at the opportunities the city has to offer. And the more the playing field has been made level, the more opportunity you're getting. Because there's so many firms in this room that are strong and hungry and have great talent and are ready to perform, but you haven't always had the door open. We're fixing that. Now, we know that there's that history to overcome. And a systematic change takes a lot of different elements of work. Some of it is done through laws, some of it's done through budgets, some of it's done through personnel, some of it's done through sheer persistence inside our organization of making very clear to everyone up and down the line that we believe in a more fair and equal society, and we believe in more opportunity for MWBEs. All of these elements have to come together, and they have to come together constantly. I think everyone in this room knows it's not a situation that you sort of flick a switch, solve one day, and then it's solved forever. It's a problem that needs to be solved every day. It's a door that needs to be opened every day, and that's what we're committed to. And in the first 2 years of our administration, our mayoral agencies have awarded over 24,000 contracts for MWBEs with a grand total worth of over $1.8 billion. And that is the most the City of New York has ever awarded in a 2-year time frame in our history. And we are proud of that fact. Maya mentioned that we have worked very hard to build an administration that looks like New York City. That work continues as well. Those two pieces have to go together. And I'm not going to say anything that will shock anyone in this room. When you hire leadership in an administration that looks like New York City, that leadership turns around and hires people from every community that represents this city and makes up this city. When you provide contracts to well-deserving MWB firms, not only do they do great work, but they turn around and hire people from all the communities of the city. Those two pieces have to move in tandem if we're going to create real and lasting change. And these numbers show us a beginning, a strong beginning. Now, I want you to know that the facts, the figures tell us a lot, but everyone in this room knows the human stories tell us even more. Every one of you has a story of success. Every one of you is an example of what can be for so many other firms. And every one of you can then tell the story of the people you hired, people you gave opportunity to, so many of whom might not have had it otherwise, and what it's meaning for them and their families. So this is something that is having a huge human impact, family impact, neighborhood impact all over this city. I want to tell you one such story. And he's with us here today, Wendell Niles. I'm going to talk about Wendell, then I'd like him to take a bow at the end because he has a lot he can be proud of. His company, Niles Advertising, is a Bronx-based firm. Anyone from the Bronx here? Come on, Bronx, you can do better than that. We're going to have a Bronx celebration moment. Is anyone from the Bronx here? Okay. Bronx needs to wake up a little more this morning. Extra coffee and Red Bull for everyone from the Bronx today. Niles Advertising, Bronx-based firm, got certified as a minority business enterprise after just 1 year in operation. So a company that was doing a lot of good work and moved quickly to get that certification and got it. And then had an opportunity to work with the City of New York and work with agencies like the Department of Environmental Protection, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Proved to be very, very successful. They did great work. Everyone was very happy with it. And it provided them with a launching pad to secure other clients, including a little-known entity named the NFL. So Niles Advertising took the great work they did with the city and leveraged it into opportunities with big private sector entities as well. Looking at the numbers, doing business with the city increased Niles sales 55% over 4 years. 55% increase. And Niles Advertising is now among the more than 4,400 certified MWBE businesses in New York City, the most in the history of New York City. Let's give a round of applause to Niles Advertising. Please, take your bow. Wendell. The kinds of things that we had to do, as I said, so much of what we needed to do came from listening to all of you. And we heard so much, for example, about the need to certify more firms and improve the certification process. And again, a big thank you to Greg Bishop and everyone at SBS for their work, that you couldn't create maximum opportunity if firms weren't certified to begin with. That's why we've really emphasized increasing those numbers. And I want to appeal to everyone in the room today, help us. If you know companies that should be certified and have not yet taken advantage of that opportunity, please connect them to SBS so they too can benefit from city contracts. If you know folks who don't know about the great opportunities with the city, please help connect them so they realize what is in store for them. All of the work that the Advisory Council has done, that our roundtables have helped us to generate, all of this is going constantly into the work we do to improve our MWBE efforts. And we've put this in terms of very strong, clear goals. I want people to really dwell on this fact. We have a document that's really the overall plan for the City of New York. One NYC was called Plan NYC under Mayor Bloomberg. We updated it, call it One NYC, made it about our economic future and our environmental future, but also about economic fairness and inclusion. We called it One NYC to say that is where we need to go as a city, to a city of opportunity for all. If you look in that plan, you will see our stated goal for MWBE contracts over the next 10 years. And that goal, I want to emphasize, is a minimum. We are committed. The formal policy of the City of New York is that we will provide over $16 billion in MWBE contracts in the next 10 years. And that is more than double the number of contracts and the value of contracts in the previous 10 years. That's the kind of change that we need in this city. Again, our goal is to go even farther and even quicker. But we need your help. As I said, we need your help spreading the word. We need your help getting people certified, but we also need your help in Albany. Albany, New York is a complicated place, my friends. I hope everyone's sitting down as I tell you. Some of the laws are outdated. Some of the laws don't make sense. And one such law does a very good thing for the state of New York and allows it a lot of freedom to award MWE contracts and high levels that it can award. And it makes all the sense in the world. But somehow that law does not allow the city of New York to do the same thing. Now, the city of New York, 43% of the state's population, by the way, 43% of the state's population, biggest city in the country, and we have an $82 billion annual city budget. It would make a lot of sense for the city of New York to be able to have the same freedom to award the maximum level of MWBE contracts. Now, to do that, we need your help, and this is going to be debated right now in Albany. There's a piece of legislation introduced by Assemblymember Rodneyce Bichotte, and it equalizes the situation. It creates a lot more opportunity. It will only be passed with your help. People in Albany need to hear from you. They need to hear your urgency on this matter. They need to hear that it's personal for you and what it matters, what it means for you, what it means for your company, what it means for the people you employ, for your community. We need to create some real energy for this reform to help us do a lot more for everyone in this room and so many others. So we believe the right thing to do is to set the bar high. We believe it's right for the City of New York to set very high goals and live by them. And they need to be goals that you can see and goals that you can see fulfilled on a regular basis. We believe the right thing to do is to make clear from the very top that this is an imperative. That is why I have called in the heads of all the major agencies of the city government that award the vast majority of contracts to people in this room and so many others, and I've told them point blank what a priority this is to me and how I want to see constant improvement and action, and I want to make sure that all of their personnel, particularly those involved in the awarding of contracts, understand what an imperative this is for New York City. The buck stops here, and what I've communicated to the senior leadership of this administration is this is a mayoral priority, and we need to see constant change and constant improvement. If we can get that help from Albany and combine it with the tools we already have in place and the priority we've given to this effort, we can go a very long way in terms of creating much greater opportunity for the people of this city, for every kind of New Yorker. So we need your help. We need your involvement. I'll conclude with this. I think I made very clear when I first ran for this office that I didn't accept the tale of two cities, that I believed we needed one city, that I believed we needed to create opportunity, that I believed we had to take on income inequality head on. This is one of the very best ways to do it. Company by company, neighborhood by neighborhood, employee by employee, family by family. You're at the front line of addressing inequality because every single day you create opportunity. Every single day you help right some wrongs from the past, create a more equal and just society. We have a lot more to do, but I am convinced we're on the right path. And with your help, we're going to open those doors of opportunity for so many more New Yorkers. Thank you. God bless you all.